Hello everyone! Today I will show you the process of creating a spiral staircase using arrays and mesh deformations, particularly simple deform modifier and non-destructive shear. Let's begin. To make this staircase we have to create two parts: the stairs and the handrails. Stairs can be made using regular radial array technique. I will show it later in the video, so let's now focus on the handrails first, because it's a more interesting part. This is our base for the handrails. In this tutorial I'm not going to focus on the modeling part. Doesn't matter how this mesh is made. As you can see, this mesh that I have here is a decimated sculpt with some box projected textures from Quixel. This is the dirtiest topology possible. I am showing you this so you can see that it will work with any mesh and any topology. So, how do we turn this piece into spiraling handrails? We need three steps. First, we create an array of pieces. Second, we will skew the array on a vertical axis, so it will look more like handrails for a ladder. And finally, we will bend it into an arc. Step 1. Create an array. Add an array modifier to your object. Boom. Done. Step 2. We need to skew the mesh. In Blender there is a tool that can give you the result we want. It's called a shear tool. It works something like this. This tool has two downsides. First, it's really awkward to use, especially since we want to shear it on the vertical axis, and also because it is dependent on the camera angle. And second, it is a destructive tool, meaning we won't be able to adjust the effect later if need be. So we won't use that. Instead, we will make a modifier that will give us the desired results with the power of geometry nodes. Now, before y'all get frightened and close the video, if you don't want to deal with any of that, nodes and math, don't worry, I got you. I will provide the file of this project. You can just download it, get the node tree from it and just use it. You may also want to skip a couple of minutes ahead. Alright, so how do we make a shear modifier? Turns out the shear operation, or the skew operation as it is called in mathematical papers, is a trivial mathematical operation that transformation matrix enables us to do. Trivial means that we don't need to dive headfirst into linear algebra, we can just barely wet our feet. With recent updates in Blender GeoNodes, we can use transformation matrix to apply changes to our mesh. So let's create new geometry nodes modifier for our object. I'm not gonna dump all the necessary mathematical theory of linear algebra on you. I can just give you the link to the paper. It will make a better job at explaining than me. Basically what we need to do is to create a transformation matrix and apply it to our geometry. Like so. The advantage of GeoNodes is that it is a tool for artists, and we as artists can just mess around with values and see the effect in real time. That's it. Now we have the skew, or the shear, that elevates our geometry on Z axis the more we go further on the Y axis. That is what we need. Let's expose our value so we can adjust it from the modifiers tab. And now we have created a simple shear modifier. Now I'm just gonna jump cut and replace the modifier that we just created with the one I'm gonna provide in the project file. It's more user-friendly as we can select any axis that we want to apply shear along. Step 3. Bending it into an arc. We're gonna use simple deform modifier for this. Create a modifier, select bend, set the angle, let's set it for 90 degrees for example, set the axis, And of course it breaks because there is some bug in the deform modifier. What we need to do to work around it? We need to set the 3D cursor to our object, set the transform pivot point to 3D cursor, switch into edit mode, rotate our mesh on X axis by 90 degrees, like so. Switch back to object mode, rotate our object by 90 degrees on X axis back. Now that we have changed the axis of our object, we need to adjust our modifier stack. Let me do this real quick. Like so. And we get the desired result. Voila! We have spiral handrail for the staircase. The advantage of this method is that it is completely non-destructive. Meaning you can adjust the height or steepness with the value of the shear modifier. You can control the width with the number of elements in the array, or you can scale the mesh itself, or you can add some new details to it, or you can change the arc angle in simple deform modifier. Now let's create stairs real quick. First, let's create a circle that matches the curvature of our ladder. Just for the visual aid. Now let's get our stair. Once again, I don't care how it's made. Now we need to place it where it needs to be, in the beginning of the stair. Now what we need to do is to match the origin of our stair with the origin of our auxiliary circle. So we place the 3D cursor here and we set the stair origin to 3D cursor. Right? Now we don't need the circle anymore. The next step is we create a new empty right in the origin of our stair, and we add an array modifier. Now deselect relative offset, select constant, or select object offset and set the empty as a reference. Now set like 32 and then rotate and move it vertically. Once again, this setup is non-destructive, so we can adjust anything we want as we need it to. And like so, the stairs are done. There you have it. I hope this tutorial was useful. You can find all the links in the pinned comment under this video. Leave a like and let me know your thoughts on this in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.